passionate about. Everybody, wherever you go, whenever you meet people, feeling of brother, human brother, sister, immediately you see develop close feeling. There's no basis of fear. So then I think this planet can be really happy, one human family. We can achieve that.
I was thinking about you, Gloria, because you had setbacks that some might have thought you would never overcome. They weren't as painful it was for Shireen to lose a job that was so meaningful to her. You broke your back and you weren't sure you were ever going to rise again. You weren't sure what would happen to your life. And as much as you have achieved, you've also suffered. So I wonder, what has that taught you that you might be willing to share about the value of overcoming and perhaps the value of suffering?
That definitely touched a nerve. Your Holiness, happy birthday, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of this illustrious panel. I've had the blessing and the privilege of making my life through music, which I think is one of the most beautiful things that unite us as human beings. And we share the commonality of music. And music literally saved me, and a lot of your teachings have become a part of my music, because very early in life I realized, going through different hardships, the loss of my father to a very debilitating illness, and having other people's music make me stronger and help me get through that time, I didn't realize how important that was going to be until later on in my life. I traveled the world singing from many different cultures, many different religions in my audience, and what I always found was that at the same moments of the show, whether they spoke Spanish or English or neither, we had the same human reactions musically, and I felt such a kindred spirit to each person that was out there watching my show, and such a unity. And later, 25 years ago, actually, on March 20th, I was on a tour, and we got sandwiched between two fully loaded 18-wheelers, and I broke my back. I was paralyzed in that accident. And what happened after that was pretty miraculous, because even though science told me that I would probably never walk again, and much less ever step on a stage, I had a doctor who had seen things far beyond what medicine would tell you. And he said to me, on my bedside, I will tell you what medicine says, and then I will tell you what I have found, which is that there are things that you cannot explain through science or medicine, that we have an amazing ability, each and every one of us, to heal ourselves and the world. And it depends on what you do or what you decide is going to have everything to do with your recovery. Then I received hundreds of thousands of letters from people all over the world telling me that they were sending me their love, their good thoughts, their prayers. I tell you that I could feel their prayers as an electrical energy with me in that hospital room. My family would come in and think I was delusional because I would say, I'm gonna be okay, and they had known the prognosis that they were told that was going to happen, and I would say, I'm going to be okay. I can feel everyone praying for me. They were from every religion possible, letters from all over the world. I went to temple, I went to my mosque, I went to my church, and I prayed for you. These are people that really knew nothing other than the music that somehow became a part of their life. And they were giving back that love and respect to me, because every time I write a song, I think about the person that's going to hear it. I think about what my words are going to do to their heart and to their mind. And I try always to choose to write songs that will empower them, that will make them feel good, that maybe will make them forget their difficulties for a little while and just entertain them, but always to know that there is a very deep connection between all of us. And at that moment I felt that connection very strongly, very physically. I felt like I was plugged into the wall. And I meditated when I couldn't move, when I was strapped to the board with the neck brace even before they operated on me. And I would imagine those prayers pouring into my body and going to the spot that I was injured and reconnecting whatever needed to be reconnected there. I didn't know what was happening, but I just envisioned each and every one of those feelings and thoughts that people were sending me going through me and healing whatever needed to be healed. And hello, here I am 25 years later. I got back on stage. I got back on stage. I had the baby girl that they told me would never happen. Yes, indeed. She's a very spiritual soul, and Your Holiness, you actually made a big difference in her life. One day, when she was 16 years old, I took her to see your speech about happiness at the University of Miami, and she was in a fork in the road and didn't know which way to go. And your wisdom and teachings and words that day actually led her towards her path, and she made a very big decision that day to go into music, which for her was a daunting thing because of her mom and the thing, but it's what she loves. So I thank you very much for what you do to all the world, how you inspire us, how you tell us and show us how to become better human beings in a better world. And thank you to anyone that might have sent a prayer my way that is sitting here today or that is hearing my voice. Please know that it made a difference to me. And after that moment, I doubled my efforts to try to help whatever I could in whatever way I could throughout my life to make this a better world. We do it every day. I feel blessed to be able to do that in any small way that I can, and that's why it is such a blessing for me to be on this panel. So happy birthday, Your Holiness, and thank you. Thank you, and thank all of you.